So today I want to say happy Easter, happy Passover, Earth Day is coming up. We have a lot centered on this day today. As I was preparing for this, I even found out that the Orthodox Christian Catholic Church, generally their calendar is a little different than ours, but this is a year that it all falls together, Earth Day being 2 days from today. So I want to talk a little bit about Passover, a little bit about Easter, something about Earth Day and how they all come together. Today is the last day of Passover. And when I think of Passover, it's to me, it's a story of liberation, a story of liberating the body and the spirit. It's outwardly, it's the Jewish festival commemorating the the Hebrews leaving Egypt. And it's a belief in something greater than ourselves that can free us from bondage. The bondage that's man-made, human-made, and the bondage of our own thinking, when you think of it from a metaphysical standpoint. And that our own way of thinking is that can be that bondage. And there's a rabbi, Morris Joseph, from the late 1800s, who said, Passover affirms the great truth that liberty is the inalienable right of every human being. And that includes me, and that includes you. And when we go to Easter, today is the day of the resurrection. Today is the day when Mary Magdalene goes to the tomb, and there's no body in the tomb. And when we think of it from a metaphysical standpoint, it's the death of the who we are, allowing the rising of the what we are. And if you heard me or Dr. Trish speak before, the what we are is love, is peace, is joy. It's that Christ consciousness. It's the oneness that we are. And the who we are is that which we are on this human plane. And so it's the awakening and the rising of this spiritual consciousness of the I am. And when Eric Butterworth states that Easter is not just a passport to another world, it's a time to take a new look at ourselves and awaken to our God self here and now. And then let's look at Earth Day, which is in 2 days. It's a time where all over the globe we come together as humanity to to really focus on caring for our planet and looking at the stewardship and the renewal of this planet, of undoing that which has been done. And when I think of that, it's like, the earth is there. What has happened to the earth has can be changed. It's kind of like, to me, it's like my I wanted to say stinking thinking. That's what we say in AA, but it's that thinking of limitation and separation, that I can have the stewardship over this expression of the I am that I am, and I can have this greater expression of love and peace and joy. So I'm going to go into oh, that's right. I found this quote from Hafiz, which is so pertinent for today. And it's a modern translation. I definitely. And what Hafiz says is, we are house sitting for God. We're house sitting for God. We share royal duties. Each day I water a favorite potted plant of the divine's earth. So that's our stewardship, to keep ourselves watered, to keep the divine watered, protecting our planet, shifting ourselves into that greater expression of the I am. And let's when we look at the resurrection. Something that's really, really important about resurrection is when I look at it from the standpoint of the Easter story, and when I look at it from the metaphysical standpoint, what does it mean to me? in my own life? What does it mean to humanity? Because it's not resuscitating or reviving an old life. What resurrection is making that a transformation to and experiencing a whole new kind of life entirely. And what Jesus showed us in that resurrection that he had, when we truly remember the who and the what we are, we can overcome our separation and our littleness. That comes from Sandy's reading, to remind ourselves that we are this greater expression of the divine, and that when we shift our thinking, we can stop crucifying ourselves and others. We can stop blaming. We can stop looking for that which says we're not whole, we're not complete, we are separate, I am limited. And we can shift it to understanding, having a faith in something greater than ourselves, and start to work wonders and spread the healing light that we are. And in the story of Easter, Jesus, once he was resurrected, started to appear in many places to people. And that's what we need to do too. That's what we need to do as we resurrect our I am, that greater expression of the divine that we are. We need to show our brilliance. We are Sandy put it in the meditation. It's what is mine to do? What is mine to do to continue to expand my own consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, however we want to call it. It's that I am, that's the pure love, the oneness that we all are. And then expanding it out and just being that presence of light and love in every moment of our lives. And what we learn through this Easter story is that the resurrection is not just a single moment, but it is a lifelong rising into our fullest expression of the divine that is within us. Ernest Holmes said that healing is not creating perfection. There is a perfect part of us that is whole. So we don't heal anything, we reveal what is already whole. And as I was preparing this, it was like, wow, that applies to so much more than just me or you. It applies to the earth too. As we approach Earth Day, our earth is a whole and complete expression of the divine, and what we are is we heal the earth as we are revealing its goodness, its love, its perfection. Just as we work on ourselves, as we let go of what no longer serves us, we are letting go of of the pollution, if you will, and allowing that greater expression of our divinity, of our magnificence, of our brilliance, of the light that we all are. And when I looking at Earth Day talks to us about sustainable practices. What can we do to sustain Earth? We're looking at environmental stewardship. We're looking at nurturing Earth's soil and changing our habits to reduce waste and conserve water, planting trees, and all of that is this resurrecting what is already there, resurrecting the beauty and the love that the earth is. And it all contributes to the health of our planet, and the actions that we take today shape the world for tomorrow. And when I bring that mentality home to me and you and to us as human beings in allowing this greater expression of the divine to come forward in ourselves, when we show our brilliance, we are empowering ourselves and others to reveal what is already whole within themselves, within each and every one of us. And that shapes our world for tomorrow, just like when we look at sustainable practices for Earth Day and for recycling, we look at sustainable practices that keep us in that higher consciousness. And Mahatma Gandhi put it so beautifully when he said, what we are doing to the forests of the world is but a mirror reflection of what we are doing to ourselves and to one another. So this is what we're talking about in this Easter, Passover, Earth Day. Holistic growth is what the name of the title of this talk is. Holistic growth, and there's no quick fixes. We may have a quick fix, what feels like a quick fix, but if we don't have sustainable practices to uphold them, to keep them present in our mind, we can easily get sucked into, revert back into the fear, the limitation, the appearance of separation. And so there's a technique that is from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, and it's called habit stacking. So this is a technique that helps us to take, I don't know that they're really baby steps, but helps us to take some steps to linking a new habit, bringing it into our daily life, becoming a sustainable practice. And what it does is it links a new habit to an existing one. And it creates this seamless integration into our daily routine. And it builds a positive behavior incrementally. And we take some micro steps. And some examples are, well, what you do is after I do this, a current habit, I will do this new habit. An example is if I want to, meditation isn't really part of my daily routine. I can say, after I drink my first cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 5 minutes. Or if I want to establish a more feeling of gratitude, another thing I could do is say, after I sit down to dinner, I will say one thing I'm grateful for that happened today. Shifting our perspective, getting us to focus on what it is we are grateful for. And if you're a runner or a bicyclist or whatever, and in today's world, some people can live in the fear of something may happen. So if you want to increase your feeling of safety, you can say, once I get on my running shoes, I'm texting my friend my path for running today. Yeah, those are some of the things that we can do to shift us, to bring us into this greater expression of the divine. And as that second quote that Sandy talked about is then taking that out into what is mine to do. I invite all of you to join us for meditation prior to service. The meditation today was absolutely so incredible about what is mine to do for myself, for my community, for my country. What is mine to do? And that is taking this enlightenment, this resurrected I am out into the world, appearing just as Jesus did. It's rising up to this higher expression of the divine, because every time each and every one of us increases that, or more freely and fully expresses the divinity that we are, we will have a ripple effect on everyone. And as we were talking prior to the service starting, Sandy was talking about all these incredible things that are being discovered about animals, and feeling that oneness with not just humanity, but with all of creation, feeling it. And as we rise up, I mean, an experience that I have been having a lot lately is I've always been a people watcher. I've always, if I had a delay at an airport, I just would, accept it and just sit there and just enjoy watching the people around me. And now as I have been working on myself, and I've been understanding and taking the knowledge of oneness from my head down to my heart, I sit there I am just in awe at how the oneness that I see, the reflection of myself that I see in everyone that I see. It brings me into a state of awe. It can bring me into tears of joy. It can bring me into tears of frustration, of what can I do? And that's when I go into the silence and ask myself, so what is mine to do? What is mine to do in this situation? So, Easter. It's the awakening of the Christ consciousness that is always within each of us. It is the what we are. And when we see this, when we allow ourselves, if you will, from a metaphysical standpoint, to be born again, we see this new spiritual dimension. And I like to think of it as seeing with my heart, not just my head, seeing that there is no separation, knowing that this kingdom of God is within us, and that everything is possible. And it as this evolution, as this resurrection happens, every time we let go of that which no longer serves us, of that which is out of alignment with what we are, we just see this, we see this greater expression of the divine in everything, not just ourselves. And the mirror that we see in others gives us an opportunity to reflect on our experiences and to learn from them. And it gives us an opportunity to cultivate a mindset of continuous improvement and transformation, and that we can align with these themes that we learn from this habit stacking, where we take a new behavior, a new habit that we want to develop, and stack it with something that we already do, looking at it from a very positive standpoint rather than I have to, I choose to. And we align with the themes of Earth Day, of having sustainable practices, of being a steward of the environment, not just that includes Earth, but also the environment with which I have inside of myself. And nurturing Earth's soil is nurturing our own inner soil, so that the seeds that grow are the seeds of love and beauty and compassion and joy. And so in closing this part, I give you a quote from Ernest Holmes. This is from the 365 Days book. We should consciously practice having a faith, just as we would practice to become a musician. We should do mental exercises to build up our acceptance of good. The process is simple. And it's simple enough, since it finally resolves itself into very simple affirmations of conviction. But there must be persistency until finally old thought patterns melt and give way to the new ones. So the process is simple. Maybe not easy, but it's simple. And as we reflect on our experiences, as we even go back to the Passover, where the Hebrews in Egypt, who had been there for generations, had the conviction, had the faith to follow that path into freedom, out of bondage. It wasn't an easy path. Yet when they had that faith, the Red Sea parted and they got across. They got across the Nile. And we too can do that. We can have that resurrection. We can have that expression of light, and we can be that light, and we can appear everywhere, and we can do it through sustainable practices and changing our habits and nurturing our both earth soil and our inner soil, and watering the divine's earth every day, as Hafiz says. And so, happy Easter, happy Passover, enjoy Earth Day. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's a bright, sunny day, and then it's cloudy, and then it's sunny here in upstate New York, where I'm joining you from upstate New York today. And have an absolutely wonderful day. I love each and every one of you. Namaste.